Bluebell Boy. I had a little boy and called him Bluebell. Gave him a little work, he did it very well. I bade him go upstairs to bring me a gold pin. In cold scuttle fell he, up to his little chin. He went to the garden to pick a little sage. He tumbled on his nose and fell into a rage. He went to the cellar to draw a little beer, and quickly did return to say there was none there. Why may not I love Johnny? Johnny shall have a new bonnet, and Johnny shall go to the fair, and Johnny shall have a blue ribbon to tie up his bonny brown hair. And why may not I love Johnny? And why may not Johnny love me? And why may not I love Johnny as well as another body? And here's a leg for a stocking, and here's a foot for a shoe, and he has a kiss for his daddy, and two for his mammy, I true. And why may not I love Johnny? And why may not Johnny love me? And why may not I love Johnny as well as another body? Jack Jelf. Little Jack Jelf was put on the shelf because he could not spell pie. When his Aunt Mrs. Grace saw his sorrowful face, she could not help saying, "Oh, fie!" And since Master Jelf was put on the shelf because he could not spell pie, let him stand there so grim, and no more about him, for I wish him a very good-bye. Jack Sprat. Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and so betwixt them both they licked the platter clean. Hush-a-bye. Hush-a-bye, baby, Daddy is near. Mama is a lady, and that's very clear. Daffodils. Daffy-down-dilly has come to town in a yellow petticoat and a green gown. The girl in the lane. The girl in the lane that couldn't speak plain cried gobble, gobble, gobble. The man on the hill that couldn't stand still went hobble, hobble, hobble. Hush-a-bye. Hush-a-bye, baby, lie still with thy daddy. Thy mammy has gone to the mill to get some meal to bake a cake, so pray, my dear baby, lie still. Nancy Dawson. Nancy Dawson was so fine, she wouldn't get up to serve the swine. She lies in bed till 8 or 9, so it's oh poor Nancy Dawson. Oh, do ye ken Nancy Dawson, honey, the wife who sells the barley honey? She won't get up to feed her swine, and do ye ken Nancy Dawson, honey? Handy Pandy. Handy Pandy, Jack-a-dandy, loves plum cake and sugar candy. He bought some at a grocer's shop, and out he came, hop, hop, hop. Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Then up Jack got, and off did trot, as fast as he could caper, to old Dame Dob, who patched his knob with vinegar and brown paper. The alphabet. A, B, C, and D. Play, playmates, agree. E, F, and G. Well, so it shall be. J, K, and L. In peace we will dwell. M, N, and O. To play, let us go. P, Q, R, and S. Love may we possess. W, X, and Y. Will not quarrel or die. Z and ampersand. Go to school on command. Dance to your daddy. Dance to your daddy, my bonny laddie. Dance to your daddy, my bonny lamb. You shall get a fishy on a little dishy. You shall get a fishy when the boat comes home. One misty, moisty morning. One misty, moisty morning, when cloudy was the weather, I chanced to meet an old man clothed all in leather. He began to compliment, and I began to grin. How do you do? And how do you do? And how do you do again? Robin Hood and Little John. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, is in the mickle wood. Little John, he to the town is gone. Robin Hood, telling his beads, all in the greenwood among the green weeds. Little John, if he comes no more, Robin Hood, we shall fretful sore. Rain, 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 go to Spain, and never come back again. The Old Woman from France. There came an old woman from France who taught grown-up children to dance. But they were so stiff, she sent them home in a sniff. This sprightly old woman from France. Teeth and gums. 30 white horses upon a red hill. Now they tramp, now they champ, now they stand still. The robins. A robin and a robin's son once went to town to buy a bun. They couldn't decide on plum or plain, and so they went back home again. The old man. There was an old man in a velvet coat. He kissed a maid and gave her a groat. The groat it was cracked and would not go. Ah, old man, do you serve me so? My kitten. Hey, my kitten, and hey, my kitten, my dearie. Such a sweet pet as this was neither far nor neary. If all the seas were one sea, if all the seas were one sea, what a great sea that would be. And if all the trees were one tree, what a great tree that would be. And if all the axes were one axe, what a great axe that would be. And if all the men were one man, what a great man he would be. And if the great man took the great axe and cut down the great tree, and let it fall into the great sea, what a splish splash that would be. Pancake Day. Great A, little a, this is Pancake Day. Toss the ball high, throw the ball low. Those that come after may sing hi-ho. A plum pudding. Flower of England, fruit of Spain, met together in a shower of rain. Put in a bag tied round with a string. If you'll tell me this riddle, I'll give you a ring. Forehead, eyes, cheeks, nose, mouth, and chin. Here sits the Lord Mayor, here sits his 2 men. Here sits the cock, here sits the hen. Here sit the little chickens, here they run in. Chin chopper, chin chopper, chin chopper, chin. 2 pigeons. I had 2 pigeons, bright and gay. They flew from me the other day. What was the reason they did go? I cannot tell, for I do not know. A sure test. If you are to be a gentleman, as I suppose you'll be, you'll neither laugh nor smile for a tickling of the knee. Lock and key. I am a gold lock, I am a gold key. I am a silver lock, I am a silver key. I am a brass lock, I am a brass key. I am a lead lock, I am a lead key. I am a don lock, I am a donkey. The Lion and the Unicorn. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town. Some gave them white bread, and some gave them brown. Some gave them plum cake, and sent them out of town. The Merchants of London. Hey diddle, dinkety, poppity, pet. The merchants of London, they wear scarlet, silk in the collar and gold in the hem. So merrily march the merchant men. I had a little husband. I had a little husband, no bigger than my thumb. I put him in a pint pot, and there I bid him drum. I bought a little handkerchief to wipe his little nose, and a pair of little garters to tie his little hose. To Babylon. How many miles is it to Babylon? 80 miles and 10. Can I get there by candlelight? Yes, and back again. If your heels are nimble and light, you may get there by candlelight. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about Jack O'Norry. And now my story's begun. I'll tell you another about his brother. And now my story is done. A strange old woman. There was an old woman, and what do you think? She lived upon nothing but victuals and drink. Victuals and drink were the chief of her diet, and yet this old woman could never be quiet. Sleep, baby, sleep. Sleep, baby, sleep. Our cottage vale is deep. The little lamb is on the green, with woolly fleece so soft and clean. Sleep, baby, sleep. Sleep, baby, sleep. Down where the woodbines creep. Be always like the lamb so mild, a kind and sweet and gentle child. Sleep, baby, sleep. Cry, baby. Cry, baby, cry. Put your finger in your eye and tell your mother it wasn't I. Ba, ba, black sheep. Ba, ba, black sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, marry, have I, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, but none for the little boy who cries in the lane. Little Fred. When little Fred went to bed, he always said his prayers. He kissed Mama and then Papa, and straightway went upstairs. Jack and his fiddle. Jackie, come and give me thy fiddle, if ever thou mean to thrive. Nay, I'll not give my fiddle to any man alive. If I should give my fiddle, they'll think that I've gone mad, for many a joyous day my fiddle and I have had. Buttons. Buttons, a farthing a pair. Come, who will buy them of me? They're round and sound and pretty, and fit for girls of the city. Come, who will buy them of me? Buttons, a farthing a pair. Hot-boiled beans. Ladies and gentlemen, come to supper. Hot-boiled beans and very good butter. Little Pussy. I like little Pussy. Her coat is so warm, and if I don't hurt her, she'll do me no harm. And so I'll not pull her tail, nor drive her away, but Pussy and I very gently will play. Sing a song of sixpence. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Was not that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and snapped off her nose. Tommy Tittlemouse. Little Tommy Tittlemouse lived in a little house. He caught fishes in other men's ditches. The Derby Ram. As I was going to Derby, all on a market day, I met the finest ram, sir, that ever was fed upon hay. Upon hay, upon hay, upon hay. I met the finest ram, sir, that ever was fed upon hay. This ram was fat behind, sir. This ram was fat before. This ram was 10 yards round, sir. Indeed, he was no more. No more, no more, no more. This ram was 10 yards round, sir. Indeed, he was no more. The horns that grew on his head, sir, they were so wondrous high. As I've been plainly told, sir, they reached up to the sky. The sky, the sky, the sky. As I've been plainly told, sir, they reached up to the sky. The tail that grew from his back, sir, was 6 yards and an ell, and it was sent to Derby to toll the market bell. The bell, the bell, the bell, and it was sent to Derby to toll the market bell. The hobby horse. I had a little hobby horse, and it was dapple gray. Its head was made of pea straw, its tail was made of hay. I sold it to an old woman for a copper groat, and I'll not sing my song again without another coat. The mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we wash our clothes, wash our clothes, wash our clothes. This is the way we wash our clothes on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we go to school, go to school, go to school. This is the way we go to school on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we come out of school, come out of school, come out of school. This is the way we come out of school on a cold and frosty morning. Young lambs to sell. If I'd as much money as I could tell, I never would cry young lambs to sell. Young lambs to sell, young lambs to sell. I never would cry young lambs to sell. Boy and the Sparrow. A little cock sparrow sat on a green tree, and he chirruped and chirruped, so merry was he. A naughty boy came with his wee bow and arrow, determined to shoot this little cock sparrow. This little cock sparrow shall make me a stew, and his giblet shall make me a little pie too. Oh no, says the sparrow, I won't make a stew. So he flapped his wings, and away he flew. Old woman, old woman. There was an old woman tossed in a basket, 17 times as high as the moon. But where she was going, no mortal could tell, for under her arm she carried a broom. Old woman, old woman, old woman, said I, whither, oh whither so high? To sweep the cobwebs from the sky, and I'll be with you by and by. The 1st of May. The fair maid who, the 1st of May, goes to the fields at break of day, and washes in dew from the hawthorn tree, will ever after handsome be. Sulky Sue. Here, Sulky Sue, what shall we do? Turn her face to the wall till she comes to. The house that Jack built. This is the house that Jack built. This is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cock that crowed in the morn that waked the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer sowing the corn that kept the cock that crowed in the morn, that waked the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday night shall be all my care to powder my locks and curl my hair. On Sunday morning my love will come in, when he will marry me with a gold ring. I saw a ship a-sailing. I saw a ship a-sailing on the sea, and oh, it was all laden with pretty things for thee. There were comfits in the cabin, and apples in the hold. The sails were made of silk, and the masts were made of gold. The 24 sailors that stood between the decks were 24 white mice with chains about their necks. The captain was a duck with a packet on his back, and when the ship began to move, the captain said, "Quack, quack!" A walnut, as soft as silk, as white as milk, as bitter as gall, a strong wall, and a green coat covers me all. The man in the moon. The man in the moon came tumbling down and asked the way to Norwich. He went by the south and burnt his mouth with eating cold peas porridge. One he loves. One he loves, two he loves, three he loves, they say. Four he loves with all his heart, five he casts away. Six he loves, seven she loves, eight they both love. 9 he comes, 10 he tarries, 11 he courts, 12 he marries. Bat, bat. Bat, bat, come under my hat, and I'll give you a slice of bacon. And when I bake, I'll give you a cake, if I am not mistaken. Hark, hark. Hark, hark, the dogs do bark. Beggars are coming to town. Some in jags, and some in rags, and some in velvet gown. The hart. The hart he loves the high wood. The hare she loves the hill. The knight he loves his bright sword. The lady loves her will. My love. Saw ye aught of my love a-coming from the market? A peck of meal upon her back, a baby in her basket. Saw ye aught of my love a-coming from the market? The man of Bombay. There was a fat man of Bombay who was smoking one sunshiny day, when a bird called a snipe flew away with his pipe, which vexed the fat man of Bombay. Poor old Robinson Crusoe. Poor old Robinson Crusoe, poor old Robinson Crusoe. They made him a coat of an old nanny goat. I wonder why they should do so. With a ring-a-ting-tang and a ring-a-ting-tang. Poor old Robinson Crusoe. A sieve. A riddle, is I suppose, 100 eyes and never a nose. My maid Mary. My maid Mary, she minds the dairy, while I go a-hoeing and mowing each morn. Gaily run the reel and the little spinning wheel, while I am singing and mowing my corn. A difficult rhyme. What is the rhyme for porringer? The king he had a daughter fair, and gave the Prince of Orange her. The 3 sons. There was an old woman had 3 sons, Jerry and James and John. Jerry was hanged, James was drowned, John was lost and never found. And there was an end of her 3 sons, Jerry and James and John. The blacksmith. Robert Barnes, my fellow fine, can you shoe this horse of mine? Yes, good sir, that I can, as well as any other man. There's a nail, and there's a prod. Now, good sir, your horse is shod. two gray kits. The two gray kits and the gray kit's mother all went over the bridge together. The bridge broke down, they all fell in. May the rats go with you, says Tom Boleyn. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock at the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a good fat hen. 11, 12, dig and delve. 13, 14, maids a-courting. 15, 16, maids in the kitchen. 17, 18, maids a-waiting. 19, 20, my plate's empty. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo. My dame has lost her shoe. My master's lost his fiddlestick, and knows not what to do. Cock-a-doodle-doo. What is my dame to do? Till master finds his fiddlestick, she'll dance without her shoe. Belle Isle. At the siege of Belle Isle, I was there all the while, at the siege of Belle Isle. Old King Cole. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. And every fiddler he had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Tweedledee went the fiddlers. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers 3. See. What shall I see? A horse's head where his tail should be. Dapple Gray. I had a little pony, his name was Dapple Gray. I lent him to a lady to ride a mile away. She whipped him, she slashed him, she rode him through the mire. I would not lend my pony now for all the ladies hire.